You're now listening to the 11:30 podcast. Enjoy the show.
I'm from the city, DC, that's where I'm from. 11:30 podcast, Dre on wheels, he is the one. Let's get it, yeah. Who with me? Let's get it, yeah. Who with me? I'm from the city, DC, that's where I'm from. Let's get it. 11:30 podcast, Dre on wheels.
Yo, what it do, everybody? It's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the 11:30 podcast. What's good, everybody doing out there? Appreciate everyone tuning in to another episode of the podcast show. If you're new to the show and you haven't done so already, definitely hit that subscribe button down below. Like it, leave a comment, share it, do all that great stuff. And don't forget to follow the 11:30 podcast on all social media platforms. But you guys, like I said, man, we back at it for the podcast show. This week got a very, very cool guest, you guys, that's joining me on this week's episode. You guys, Tiffany Harvey. She's an entrepreneur, writer, business owner, and a motivational speaker. Yeah, she's going to be dropping past here on the 11:30 podcast show. This week we're going to be chopping it up with her. We ain't going to waste no more time. We're going to bring Tiffany on. How's it going?
Everything's going good. How's everything going with you?
It's going wonderful. It's actually going well, and I'm here. I'm grinding, doing the thing. So I'm excited though. How's life treating you?
Listen, I cannot complain. I can complain, but I'm not. So life is treating me good. I thought the government would be shut down today. They kind of look disappointed right now, but
yeah, I've been hearing that for a couple of weeks or so. So they passed the bill or something.
A temporary bill for 45 days. So we'll go back through this in 45 more days, waiting to the last minute part for them to get a bill signed. I work for the government, but I want 1 or 2 days off.
Hey, I mean, who don't? Like I think Saturday and Sunday go by just too fast though. As soon as you get to Friday, it'd be Monday real quick. Like damn, So an extra day would not hurt though. But Tiffany, I appreciate you coming through here on the podcast show. For my listeners and viewers, I like to have my guests tell everyone about yourselves. About
sure.
Tiffany Harvey.
So again, yes, I'm Tiffany Harvey. I am an entrepreneur and the CEO and founder of Pick Your Sweet Poison, where we create the custom recipes that you can make from the comfort of your home. We make it as easy as possible with our virtual classes, our private classes, our custom cocktail recipe boxes you can find on Amazon right now. But also I'm a motivational speaker where I turned my pain from a very painful divorce, and I kind of started writing that down, and now I'm in a devotional that will be released in a couple months called Joy 365. My devotional is titled I'm Built for This, and I kind of took that saying and put it on t-shirts now, and I wear that affirmation proudly, and you can too. If you go to my website, Speak with Tiffany, you could order the devotional and a shirt at the same time. And I'm a proud mom. I have a 5-year-old son that I love dear to my heart. But when I'm not doing my own things, I do work for the government in policy, and I'm a Naval Reserve officer.
Okay, that is awesome. That is very, very awesome. And you just spoke about coming through, adversity and stuff, and getting through pain and starting this amazing journey for you. How did that all start for you?
Well, so my story is, I was married for 3 years. We had, I thought a great life. We lived in a beautiful house, had great jobs. We had a beautiful son. But shortly after we got married, I started seeing some changes in him. He wasn't coming home on time. Communication stopped. Intimacy stopped. It's like we just became roommates all of a sudden. After trying talking to him, about the situation, how I felt. We tried therapy. I just seemed like I couldn't get through to him. So I remember this old saying, love make the heart go fonder, just with a little time apart. I remember my grandma telling me that. So I thought I had a great idea. Like, listen, I'm gonna go tell this man, let's just take a little time apart. And in my mind, our love will come back stronger and tighter, and we get back being that team that we built. But unfortunately, when I told him that, all I got was, I want a divorce. And I felt myself just weak because of what did I do to deserve a divorce after only 3 years of marriage? But when I thought, my heart really couldn't bleed anymore, I overheard him tell his mom that I was never his queen.
Oh wow.
So I felt myself spinning out of control. I felt myself going to a very dark place, and I felt as if I was losing myself, who God made me, and my heart just started to harden, and hate
Mm.
started to build in for this man.
Well,
But go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cut you off. How did you feel at the moment? Because we all sort of share. All of us, men, women, we sort of go to our mom and tell them our stuff that maybe we were going through, or some troubles though. But how did you hear? How did you feel when hear him telling that to his mom?
I I wasn't surprised because he's a mama's boy, but I didn't learn that till after we got married. He hid
Oh
that
wow.
one very well from me. So I wasn't surprised he went to his mom. I was more surprised at the conversation they were having. And she was co-signing almost his behavior. And I was the issue and the problem that needed to be fixed. But when he said I was never his queen, I promise you, I think I almost fell to the floor. I was like, wow. So what was this for the last, 3 years of marriage, 3 years of dating? What was this? And then just hearing the mom co-sign it, I'm like, wow, where was the love that you was expressing to me and my family? Like, oh, we so happy to have Tiffany in our family. We're so happy, Jason, found her. You know, I just thought it was all a scam. It really was. After I kept listening and kept, listening, it was. Unfortunately, me and my this marriage, this life really was not about love. It was a come up. That's what.
Mm. Mhm. I tell people, here and there, and especially with I think the things that have been going on in the entertainment world with young. Let me get back to that joke, but young Jeezy and I can't think of the young lady. I keep
Um,
forgetting her name.
me,
Jeannie.
Jenny.
Okay, yeah, Jeannie, and I think the thing going on with Papoose and Remy Ma, or whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
And I told someone, I was like, man, those were just business relationships. And it was like, well, no, not really. No, I'm like, people really do that. You don't think they, maybe was in love, or whatever the case may be, though. But,
It's
so you
hard for
said it
people
was,
to it's hard for people to really fathom and get there. Like, no,
yeah,
people look, that's on TV. They
yeah,
write about this stuff. I'm like, no, that really happens. Like,
yeah. How did you get through all of this, knowing that this was the guy that loved, and you spent the last 3 years and you got married with him, and how did you get over that hump and just
it
move on?
honestly, it took it's something that a lot of us Black people don't do, but we should do therapy. I mean, it really took. I had two therapists. I have a spiritual therapist and I have a medical therapist, and I see both of them to this day. And it really took for them to, help me through the pain that I was going through. Cause I was not sleeping. Had anxiety. I was on the verge of depression. So it took both of them to give me an outlook to express myself and literally let me, get out my feelings without any judgment, but also giving me the tools that I needed to work to help get over the pain and the hurt, because it doesn't go away quick. I don't know who said pain goes away quick. That is a lie.
Mhm.
There's no time stamp on how long you're supposed to go through pain and heal from pain. But one of the tools that they both gave me, was writing. And I hated writing. I'm gonna be honest with you. That was not that girl in school. I didn't want to read. I didn't want to write. You give me a math problem, some science, I was good. So I was like, I fought my therapist, both of them, for about 9 months to a year. I'm like, I don't journal. Just let me get it out, and I'm okay. But that journaling actually helped, and that journaling actually got me into now writing in this devotional I mentioned with 365 other authors. It really allowed me to pour out some feelings I was actually not able to say. So therapy is a key to getting through this, but also my friends and family. I have a very good support system, and they have been there for me through day and night. Trust me, I'm gonna call some of them in the middle of the night, like I need to. I'm gonna stab him if I don't vent. So yeah, I have a very good, strong family friend support that allowed me to, just lean on them on those days where I felt like I was broken. And of course, God. I mean, number one, God. Knowing that He's there for me, knowing He will never leave me, and He put these people in my life to help me get through this situation.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. God does put people in your life at certain times, for certain situations to definitely guide you and support you.
Yeah.
You also said one other thing that you just felt like it was your fault. And why did you feel like it was your fault and that you was the problem?
I think I do like a lot of people do who has a caring heart.
Yeah.
When things happen to you, you kind of turn the table on you. Like, well, what did I do wrong? What did I say wrong? Could I have done this better? Should I have not approached the situation? Should I just let it ride? Should I just stay in my feelings and just pretend that it never happened? I think good-hearted people, true good-hearted people, we always going to look at ourselves first versus the other person or the situation and see how can we correct ourselves and fix it from our standpoint. And for me, I don't necessarily thought I blame myself. I was trying to fix it. I don't like a lot of discontent in my relationships. I don't like where we don't speak. So for me, I will wave the white flag like, hey, let's talk. If we just talk a little bit, I'll be like, okay, I'm fine. Am I really fine? No. Did we really resolve it? No. But the love that I had, I wanted that to work. And I wanted that to stay together. So I will kind of turn my back on some stuff or keep my mouth on closed on a lot of situations. And I just think that's just what we do when you really care for someone or care for a relationship that you're trying to make it work.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. How did you find peace through all of this?
Ooh, I'm still looking for some of that. Let me say this. Peace for me is coming in phases.
Okay.
Yes, I think peace for me is coming in phases. So I found initial peace when he left at home. Matter of fact, I didn't even know my peace was gone. And I think that's a problem when we're in certain situations. You don't even know how much that person is stealing from you, because that's really what it is. They're stealing your happiness and your peace and your joy. And sometimes you don't even know you surrender that to another person. And I did not know till he left that house. I promise you, it felt like I could breathe. I didn't realize I was holding my breath. And the peace that came over me, that was the first time I slept in months. In months. So that was one stage of peace of just like, oh, he's gone. I could breathe and sleep easy. But then after each stage, I think after my divorce was final, that was a sense of peace. Even though I'm still in court, they still dragging me through court. But that was still a peace for me to be like, okay, got it. I'm no longer chained to this man, only by my son. But us being together, that once that tie, that string got cut, I felt another sense of peace come over me, because I felt like I'm getting back Tiffany. I'm getting back a new version of Tiffany that God has blessed me with and where He's moving me. So it's my peace is coming in stages of this whole situation. But I know I'm going to get it all back. It's just going to take some time.
Definitely. It's definitely going to take some time, and you just don't know how much people could be stealing your energy and so much, sucking so much, energy, up that they are around you, and you just never know. Like, I commend you for that, and also continuing to definitely found your peace and stuff like that. So I think that's awesome, really awesome story that you really have. Though you also started your own business, right?
Yeah.
Pick your sweet poison. Oh, I'm saying it
yes.
right, though.
Yep.
Yes.
You got it right. Sweet poison is one of them. Yes.
Yes. You started it during the pandemic, right?
I started during the divorce. So we was already in the pandemic. We separated in 2020. So in 2021, again, I said I had a great friends and support. So that I started doing these small little girls' nights at my house because they didn't want me to be alone. And I've been making drinks as fun since college. That was our way. Before we went out, I went to FAMU. So before we went out, we would pregame and I would make the drinks, and that was just something I've just been doing just when people come over, just for fun. And a friend of mine said, you don't use a recipe card. I'm like, I don't? I'm like, I'm just making drinks. So she's like, you really should turn this into a business. You got a skill, you got a gift. So after doing a little research, I'm like, hey, can I make this into a business? I said, there is a market out there for cocktail recipes and virtual classes and throwing private parties, teaching people how to make cocktails. So that's kind of what I do now. I make cocktail recipes and cocktails, showing mostly women that you could be comfortable making a good drink from home, and you don't need all these fancy tools and equipment to enjoy a good drink. So that's kind of where we are. Pick Your Sweet Poison. We are here to, give you the knowledge that you need to make a good cocktail from the comfort of your home.
That's awesome. Really, really awesome. I got to try one of those, though. I understand you helping all the women out, but definitely got to try some of them things out.
Listen, I did a baby shower yesterday, and the father said, I want Douce. Can you do something with some Douce? That's my favorite. I said, you know what? I got you. So the men and the women, surprisingly, everyone loved it. Like the men were like, man, I need this recipe. Like, what did you put in here? I was like,
Okay. I think that's awesome. That's really awesome. How did you handle all of this? Well, starting up in the pandemic, because it was at the time of the world was going crazy, and then you also said you was handling the divorce too at
yes.
that time.
It was scary, man. Let me tell you, when you start a business, I don't think everybody share the fear behind starting a business. Like for me, at least for me. I was like, oh my God, you craziest mess. It's a pandemic going on. You going through a divorce. You have to be a single mom. What are you doing about starting a business? But I was like, you know what? Once I prayed on it, the vision became so clear. And I think that what motivated me enough to do it, because I tried to do other business in the past. I never felt like it was right. It always felt like something was missing. Even though I give it my 100%, I would just felt like something was missing. But this one here is really with a vision from God. And it has really been a smooth ride. I haven't had that many hiccups or anything I can really say that has stopped me or wanted me to stop from doing this. So, yes.
Okay, I think that's awesome. You got a lot going on, and the future is bright. The future is definitely bright for you. I definitely dig it. You got the your business going on, and just previously divorced. And how are you balancing that in your new business, and you're also United States Navy Research Commissioner Officer.
Yes, it's
Can you explain that for some people who may not know?
what, commission officer?
Yes.
Yeah, so I am we have different officers in the military. You have what is a commission officer, which is basically I appointed by the President of the United States. But then you also have what is a warrant officer. A lot of branches don't have warrant officers anymore, but we do have what's called a warrant officer. It's just an officer who basically doesn't have a degree. So just a little bit different. So commission is, I had to take my oath signed by the president, saying I'm a commissioned officer in the U.S. Navy. So been in for 18 years. Did 6.5 years on active duty before I switched to the reserve side.
Okay. How did you get into sort of the Navy? Was that a thing that you wanted to do? You said you've been in for a while, right?
No, yes, I have. No, military was not on my agenda ever. Let me be honest. But I had a friend of mine in college. She went to the Army, and her mom and her was an Army brat. She was an Army brat because her mom and her stepdad were Army. And, she just sat me down after college. I was working at Hertz, and she's like, what do you want to do with your life? You got your degree, you working at Hertz. But then she talked to me about the military. I didn't realize that you could come into any military branch if you have a college degree as an officer. You don't have to come in enlisted. You actually come in as an officer. called Officer Candidate School. Each branch offer it. And, I took the test. The first time I failed. I ain't gonna lie, I failed flying colors. And it was supposed to be a buddy system. Me and a friend was supposed to do it. But she just backed out. And I was like, after working at Hertz and student loans kicked in, that was the key. Student loans kicked in. I said, I got another bill. So I went back and took the test again, and I passed with flying colors. They wanted to pick me up as a pilot because I did so well, but I turned that down and went to logistics, what I am now. And it's really because of her. She planted that seed, and I took that seed, and I watered it, I studied, and now it was the best decision that I ever made. And I retired in 2025.
Okay, all right. That is what's up. You definitely got a lot going on for you in your life. It's really awesome though. You also an author too, right? You got a new book out, right?
Well, it'll be out in a
Yeah.
next, hopefully November. It'll come out this fall. So I'm starting my writing career, co-authoring. So I'm a co-author in an upcoming devotional called Joy 365. It's myself and 364 other authors who contribute to this devotional as well, a journal. So the devotional is really all about inspiring, giving inspiring words and stories to people who need it. Maybe they're in a tough situation or a tough time in their life, and they just need a little bit of inspiration because not everything we do, we can encourage ourselves. Sometimes you need other people to pour into you when you can't find the words or the strength to do it for yourself. But also the devotion is also just meant for people to start their day off with on a positive note. Some people like to read inspirational quotes and affirmations they say to themselves every day just to start on a positive their day off a positive outlook. And it's been known and said, like, if you start your day off with a good affirmation or a reading of a Bible word, usually you have a very good outlook for the day when
Mm-hmm.
things happen. So that's what a devotional is all about, that we're contributing to. It's just not for people who, having a sad, issues. It's an all around devotional, and it's a journal that you could get with it and have affirmations in it that we all wrote personal affirmations in it. So my devotional is titled "I'm Built for This." I love that. I love that devotional right now and that title, especially the season I am in my life. I'm having to continue to battle and fight for things, and I have to remind myself, like, what, you built for this. God prepared you for this journey. He knew you was going to be on this journey, so He prepared me a long time ago. And when I look back, like, wow, that's why I went through what I went through, because now everything that comes my way, people don't realize I'm not breakable. I may bend, I may take a couple of hits, but you cannot break me because God already prepared me for it, and I'm built for this. So I wear it on my shirt proudly. And if anybody else want to wear it, you could definitely go to my website and TiffanySpeak.com, and you could definitely purchase a shirt, sweater, workout shirt.
Hmm. Hey, that's awesome. That's awesome. All the links will be down below, you guys here on YouTube, so you can definitely pick you up some merch, some sweater, and definitely a copy of her latest book. And affirmations, and I think starting off your day is very big. I think when I got into the whole podcast and try to have a good head on my shoulder, I was looking up a whole lot of inspirational quotes and things like that because at that time I felt like I what I don't know what to do, like I feel like I'm lost, just trying to get to what I really want to do and stuff like that. But I think, if you wake up and you be like, man, this day gonna be some mess. Well, it kind of is though. You gotta speak it into
Is this
existence. So I definitely agree with that. What keeps you going on a daily basis? Bailey, what inspires
my son? Honestly, I want to show him and be that woman present in his life where he sees, like, what, my mom went through a lot, but you know what, she kept pushing. And not only pushing, she did it with a smile on her face. She not over here complaining and bickering like, oh, life is so tough, oh, look what they did to me, look what happened. Like, no, I just want my son really pushes me more now. Like, I always had this drive about me, but now he pushes me more to where it's like, you know what? I want him to see that no matter what life throws at you, you could overcome it. One, with a positive attitude, one, trusting God, and just some hard work. You could overcome anything that anybody throw your way. So that's kind of what has been pushing me the last couple of years. And I want to leave something behind for him. I want to leave a inheritance, a business, something behind for him. Like everybody else do. I'm not going to say the word, but
Yeah, yeah. I get you. I get you. That's awesome. That's definitely awesome. I got you. I got you. I appreciate it. Tiffany, for coming through here on the podcast, and everyone, and like I said, all the links will definitely be down below. We're gonna move on here on the show. It's time. We're gonna play a game. You ready? We're gonna play a game.
I'm
You
ready.
down to play a game? Okay, okay.
Ready.
We're gonna play a game, you guys. Would you rather? We're gonna play a game of Would You Rather. I got 5 questions for you, and we're gonna roll with it. Ready?
Okay.
Okay. Would you rather have the ability to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years into? Excuse me, I said that all wrong. Would you rather have the ability to see 10 minutes into the past or 150 years into the future?
I'm gonna go to the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The future.
Yeah.
Future is
Past
looking
is
into
past. Like whatever happens, it is
You
what
gotta
it
leave it in the past. Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta leave it is. Can't change it, right?
Right.
Okay. Would you rather work under a hot? Would you rather work under the hot, and outside, or the hot sun, maybe? Or would you rather work in the extreme cold?
Extreme cold, please.
Oh, okay. You don't like the summer?
No, I'm from Florida. I
Oh,
love
okay.
I
Okay.
love the sun. I hate winter, but when you talking about working, that's sun is
Okay, you rather be cold. I got you. Okay. Would you rather work an over? Would you rather work an overtime shift with your annoying boss or spend a 4 day with your mother-in-law?
So based on my situation I just had, I'd rather work overtime with my annoying boss.
You know what? That is so funny because I didn't know the situation. I'm sorry. That was just a question I just put down, and it just happened to be this. So, oh my gosh, yeah. I take the boss too.
I sure look. You can add a couple more bosses on that one there. I'll take it.
Oh man. Okay. All right. Would you rather give up your cell phone for a month or bathing? Give your cell phone up for a month or bathing for a week?
Oh, I think I'm gonna have to give up the cell phone. I can't go without bathing every day. That's nasty.
Really nasty. I'm gonna definitely have to give up the cell phone on that. Okay. Would you rather travel to London or travel to Paris?
Ooh, let's see. Well, I haven't been directly to Paris. I've been to France. I've been over that way. I may take London. I think I'll go with London over because I've been to France. So I'll take London.
Okay. London it is though. Okay, definitely. Them seem like some nice destination spots to go to for real.
They are. They're beautiful.
Yes, really is. Well, Tiffany, I appreciate you coming through here on the 1130 podcast. It was really fun having you on. I promise you, I didn't know that. That was just.
I don't
That
know.
was just so weird. But yes, I appreciate it. Once again, everyone, all the links will be down below, so you can definitely cop some merch, get a copy of her latest book, and definitely follow her on social media. But before you go, you have any questions, any shout outs, anything you would like to say?
No, I just had a great time. Thank you for allowing me to be on the show with you today. If you need a guest to come back, I'm gonna need you to revet those questions for a new game.
Oh, yes. Yes, the questions will definitely be different next time. You're welcome anytime. I appreciate it so much. Everyone who's listening and watching. We'll take a quick break, come back, got the WTF moment and more. We're gonna wrap up the show. You're listening and you're watching to the 1130 podcast.
Yes, that's right. New merch. Yes, new merch is available now. Head over to bonfire.com/the 1130 podcast to place your order. I have t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, hats, you name it. Everything you want from the 1130 podcast is right here in one place. So head over to bonfire.com/the 1130 podcast to pick you up some monumental gear ahead of the new season of the 1130 podcast. Go get you some now.
Women can raise boys to be gentlemen. Men raise men to be men. Let me explain what I mean by that. Women have the tools, just like men have the tools with daughters, to raise beautiful and respectful human beings that could go out and be pillars in society. But that manhood question comes from a man. I was raised by a single mother and a single grandmother, two strong black women. They did a wonderful job, in the 90 percentile. That 10% came from my uncles. All right. That when you getting jumped, when you got somebody bullying you, stop crying, go back the next day and whip their fucking ass. That came from my uncles. How to walk around in the streets, how to let it be known without being over bodacious. I might not be the one you want to fuck with. How to walk it like you talking that swagger. That came from my uncles. Women don't raise men by themselves. Sorry, ladies. Let me bust your bubble. You do it. You do it. You do a great job. You do a great job. But there's always a Mr. Willie around to take care of a child that's not his. So we can stop that narrative right now. Okay? The Mr. Willie taking you to your T-ball games and to your basketball games. Whenever the son's broken in the house, he automatically comes and fix it and don't want no money from mom. He getting paid a different way. Okay? This is a community thing. It takes a village to raise a child. You didn't do it by yourself. You had it hard. You did a majority of things about yourself, and you need to be commended and authenticated and revered. But you didn't do it by yourself.
And here's the thing. I always come from a woman's perspective, right? We as women, we're taught that we can't do no wrong, right? As women, we're groomed like we can't do no wrong, but women, we could be just as toxic as men can, and men can be just as toxic as women can. You know what I think? A lot of people don't know that they're toxic because they lack self-awareness. They think they can't really figure out like what's the problem. And a lot of people, they don't want to take the time to look at themselves to even see if they're the problem. So, I mean, it's a lot that comes with that. You got to look at your background. You got to look at your patterns. You got to look at your history. I've been toxic before.
Everybody has.
Most people, when it comes to like dating and courting and all of that, you meet a person's avatar. You don't really meet the real person. You always meet the avatar. And once you get past the avatar, that's like the real person who you probably got yourself involved with. And a lot of times, by the time you get to that, that's when the toxicity and all the stuff that we were just talking about starts to show itself.
We back here on the 1130 podcast. Appreciate everyone sticking with me throughout the short break. Yo, Tiffany Harvey, thank you for coming through here on the 1130 podcast. It was awesome having you on. Awesome time vibing with you. Dope conversation, man. For real. Really got to be one of the top 5 conversations I had here on the 1130 podcast. You're welcome anytime. For everyone who's listening, man, all the links will be down below, so you can definitely follow Tiffany Harvey and get at her, man, for real. Dope entrepreneur, for real. But you guys, man, before the break, I did say, man, we got the WTF moment, man, and we do, man. I had to change some lightning around here. But you guys, man, we're going to hop right into it. We ain't going to waste too much time. It's time, you guys, for the WTF moment of the week, you guys. Yes, WTF moment of the week, man. And yo, okay, now I know I ain't the only one who heard this, and ain't too many people talking about it, and that's why I feel like this is my WTF moment of the week, man. Because another thing, I think it's bogus. I think it's bogus as hell. But they supposedly have found the alleged murderer who killed and murdered Tupac. 20-something, maybe 30-something, 20-something years ago or whatever like that. And man, they done had a movie with Tupac. Probably like 2. I think All Eyes on Me. It was another one. they had a bunch of daggone documentaries. I remember one of the I think it was the Tupac and Biggie Unsolved show that was on USA Network. But bro, they had a bunch of shows and movies about, well, about the person itself. But dog, come on, man. Now all of a sudden, 20 something years later, we supposedly got the person that allegedly killed Tupac. Man, come on, bull crap, man. Because I mean, throughout all these investigations and television show and theories, that it was always that the police had something to do with Tupac, and the way Tupac career was going and how he was very outspoken. He was a different breed, and the government and the higher ups was like, we gotta cut that off right where it's at. Biggie was another one too, but man, Tupac, man, I don't believe in that one bit. I don't believe in that one bit. And all slippery. But yeah, man, it don't make sense. I always, and I learned too, and I always say, anytime it's a big news, any situation that, man, you just can't believe it. Like, you guys remember the submarine situation that happened earlier this year? Yeah, like that was a cover up for something else. What else? Man, it was just so much. And now, sort of the government or I don't know how to say it though, but it's a Netflix documentary and it's called Encounters. And I catch the first couple of episodes, but it's really good though. And it's in these this has happened what, maybe 15, 12 years ago, and it's still happening to this day. It was but nonetheless, I'm gonna cut the story short. Encounters about the UFOs, people seeing UFOs. So now they sort of making it known that, hey, you know what? It wasn't just one person. It wasn't just two people. It was multiple people who encountered or seen certain things in the sky, man. But I always feel like they always trying to cover up something. So if the Tupac story, when that came out and released, what was like a week ago or whatever, I was like, okay, so what's really the big news? What's really going on under the surface? Because that's how I think now, man. Because anytime something just dropped, man, I don't really take it as face value. You really gotta do your research though. But WTF, man, all the way. But I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, not one bit, man. Another WTF moment, man. It just came off the top of my head, you guys. WTF moment this past Sunday night. It's on the wrestling side for all my wrestling fans out there. I'm a big wrestling fanatic. I was checking out AEW Wrestle Dream. Dope show, really dope show. And the main event was Christian Cage and Darby Allin for the TNT Championship. And I felt like, man, these guys have wrestled for the title a couple of times and, and wrestled each other, previously. But this the main event, and a big rumor's been going around that a certain superstar might make their debut in AEW. Now, I would never thought it would be, but you guys, Adam Copeland. He go by Edge in WWE. He made his AEW debut this past Sunday, and boy, it was crazy, man. Like, he's one of those guys, like I said on Commission Talk this past week, he's one of those guys that I just seen just ratting out all the way, with WWE. And I think it was just his passion for the business and wanted to do more and want to deliver more and just do more. He really couldn't. So WWE is, they got the writers, they got the higher ups, and stuff trickles down like that in a way. And Edge, man, like, he started out in WWE. The story of him being at WrestleMania 6 and how they pointed out and circle him, how he's there, being inspired by Hulk Hogan, because at that point that was the guy of WWE. But I just didn't see him, going off and adventuring on. But he wanted to have some freedom and have some fun. So I look forward to it, man, because Dynamite was definitely crazy last night. But that's my WTF moments of this week, man. Woo, like WTF, man. But yo, man, this has been a back-to-back week. 2 shows of the 11:30 podcast show where I had Patrice Jackson on, and today where I had Tiffany Harvey. Thank everyone for tuning in to the 11:30 podcast show. Thank everyone for subscribing, and for everyone who tuning in to the 11:30 podcast Talk Pro Wrestling, man. Thank everyone. The 11:30 podcast Talk Pro Wrestling is now on Pandora, man. So, that's a pat on the back. I appreciate all the support, all the love, man, for everyone who tuned in, man. For real. I'm about to go chill with my little man because I know he probably called him daddy. But if not, he probably mama. But you guys, man, stay safe, stay blessed, give all the glory to God, man. Won't he do it? Almost forgot, you guys. Don't forget to follow the 11:30 podcast on all social media platforms, on X, formerly known as Twitter, at the 11:30 podcast, on Instagram at the 11:30 podcast _ on Facebook at the 11:30 podcast. Man, if you haven't done so this entire episode, definitely hit that subscribe button down below, you guys. Yes, man, like it, comment it, share it, and tell a friend about the 11:30 podcast. Well, until next time, you guys, I'm about to head on out of here, man. It's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels, and I'm out.
I'm from the city, DC, that's where I'm from. 11:30 podcast, Dre on Wheels, he is the one. Let's get it, yeah. Who with me? Let's get it, yeah. Who with me? Yeah. I'm from the city, DC, that's where I'm from. Let's get it. 11:30 podcast, Dre on Wheels, he is the one.
He the one, nigga.
So Breeze, baby.
He the one.
With me,
So Breeze, baby.
let's get it. You with me. Yeah, they gon' hate, but they ain't stopping this. I'ma keep making hits. Dre and Wheels, you know it ain't no copying. Was you sitting there on the carpet with us?